Course 1, Lesson 12, we'll talk about place value, which is a familiar term. Maybe it goes higher on our chart today than you're accustomed. Maybe you've only gone as high as hundreds, thousands, maybe 10,000s, possibly millions. But today we're going to get comfortable with what a trillion is and where it is on our place value chart. Our number system is based on a pattern of tens. So in a place value chart here, each place has a value that's 10 times greater than the one to its right. So as we go right to left, it gets bigger. Maybe it'd be better to show it as it gets bigger like this, where this side is larger than the other side here. So 10 is going to be, the tens place is going to be 10 times bigger than the place to its right. And then this one, 10 times greater than the one to its right as well. So 10 times 10 is 100. Hundreds place. Each digit is worth 100 of what these were, of what the originals. So 7 in the hundreds place really means 700. That makes sense. And tens, if I have a 6 in there, that digit actually is worth 60. And in the ones, the number is just worth what it is because it's times 1. So times 10 times 100 times 1, where we get our names, hundreds, tens, ones. And each place is 10 times bigger than the one to its right. Always 10 times bigger. It's based on a system of tens. So 10,000s, 100,000s are 10 times as big as 10,000s, millions 10 times as big as 100,000s. And in every group of 3 10 times, we put what's called a comma between to help us read them. Notice there's always 3 digits grouped in each group, going again right from left. So you might not fill all of the spots, but you'll fill as you go right to left. This is why when you add these together, you end up with 765, which is the same as what we see here, right? Each place value, hundreds, tens, ones, is worth its name. So in the number right here, you may not even know how to read it until you fill it into a place value chart. And I think I'll give you a place value chart in case you want to go kind of longhand in solving these. But in order to solve this, if you have a place value chart, you know what digit is in whatever place, you could just fill in the chart with the numbers as they're written. Especially a chart with commas is easy to use. Let's go again. Right to left is a good rule to follow. 0, 0, 0. And why do we need those zeros there? Why couldn't we just start at the 9? Well, they hold the place value there. Maybe there's nothing there. 0 times 10 is still 0. Times 100 is still 0. There's nothing worth there. But by putting them there, we fill up spots to allow 9 to sit here. We don't use dashes or X's. We use zeros for that. Place value holders. And I'm filling in the number from example 1 to see that each has its place. And if we're looking now, what place? 10 millions. I find it in my chart. And it's the digit 5. And we could have solved for any of these names by filling in our place value chart, but our hope is that you can memorize these names and they follow a neat, simple enough pattern that I think that's reasonable, that you won't need a chart to do this every time and you'll just count and know which one's going to be the place value they're asking for. So let's see if we solved correctly. 10 millions place is 5, which means it's worth 5 10 millions or 50 millions. We do the same thing here, and maybe you're starting to memorize the 4 here is the number right in front of the 3 digits. So right in front of the comma would make it the thousands place. Don't be fooled when they talk in sentence form and you have like a comma here. That's not part of this number system. It's just in the sentence. So it's a decimal really there. Large numbers are used in a lot of situations. You know, numbering a crowd at a concert perhaps, or the number of dollars in your bank account. To place commas, remember we begin from right and we go to the left and group every 3. And that helps us read it, and it also helps group the basic labels of digits. The first group doesn't really have a name, maybe hundreds, but then this you can always kind of read as thousand. Anything in front of it will be thousands. These are the thousands. So if that's all we have, it's going to be a thousand number. These are the millions. You can think of it that way. The billions. And finally, today we're going all the way up to trillion is the next highest. All right. So commas are very useful. They're not just there to look nice. They help us. Inserting commas into this number is a simple matter of going 503, comma, 420, comma. Every 3 right to left. Operations of arithmetic. Arithmetic, just think of that as meaning math. Operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and finally the division operation. And the answers we get for each of those are listed here on the chart. That's review. Sum, difference, product, quotient, respectively. I like example 5 as they talk through the solution and show how sometimes you write down information and underline key parts to help you. The question is our last one for us today. What is the difference between the product of 6 and 4 and the sum of 6 and 4? And the way I read it, I hope helps you keep that straight. There's a lot there, and it all has to do with knowing your label, your names for the solutions to these operations. You have to know what it means in math to say difference. That should be bringing to mind subtraction. You have to know what product is. That brings to mind multiplication. They give us 2 digits to use. And let's read it again to ourselves as we're underlining things. What is the difference, right here, between product of 6 and 4 and the sum of 6 and 4? So we're going to find this, we're going to find this, and then we're going to subtract them for the difference. Product again means multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. The sum of 6 and 4 is plus, so we do 10. Then we're finding the difference between the product, which was this one, and the sum, which was this one. So difference, 4 minus 0 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1, answer 14. For your written lesson practice for me today, I'd like you to complete B, D, and E, please. Thank you.